One way we're using technology to expand how we administer and deliver tests is through computer adaptive testing. Computer adaptive testing is a different mode of test administration and delivery, such as paper-based testing or computer-based testing more generally, and it has different advantages and disadvantages. With traditional paper-based and computer-based testing, we use a linear design. The test taker answers one question and then another until they've reached the end of the test. There's a fixed set of questions in a test form, typically in a fixed order, and everything is scored after you've finished the test. With computer adaptive testing, the test adapts to the ability level of the test taker. Some scoring or analysis takes place within the test itself, and as a result, we administer questions that allow us to more precisely estimate the test taker's ability level. Compared with non-adaptive testing, test takers should feel that test questions are more targeted to their ability level. So, adaptive testing requires a scoring process and a process for selecting different test questions within the test itself. The most popular way to implement computer adaptive testing in language testing is what we call multi-stage testing. With multi-stage adaptive testing, a test taker completes a set of test questions, and then an initial analysis or scoring process takes place instantly using an algorithm. We call this initial part stage 1, or the routing stage. Based on the performance in this routing stage, the test taker is routed to an easier or more difficult set of questions for stage 2. And then a final scoring process takes place based on the full set of test questions. So this two-stage design is used in the computer adaptive mode of the TOEIC listening and reading test. Computer adaptive testing has some benefits when compared to paper-based testing and traditional computer-based testing. For one, it enables us to provide a more efficient assessment by administering test questions that better target a test taker's proficiency level. This can potentially make testing more engaging for test takers, since test questions are more appropriate, more suited to their skill level. Adaptive testing also increases the precision of measurement within a given testing time, so technically, if an adaptive test and traditional linear test have the same number of items, the reliability of the adaptive test will probably be higher. With these two benefits, adaptive tests are being used to shorten tests, using fewer test questions with shorter testing time, but resulting in similar levels of reliability as the longer linear tests. Computer adaptive testing has some drawbacks, however. If you administer less test questions, you may not get as much information about some aspects of test takers' abilities. For example, the score report for the full-length TOEIC listening and reading test provides information about sub-skills or specific listening and reading abilities measured by the test. More test questions are needed to provide this information. Adaptive testing may provide a better experience for some test takers, but other test takers may actually prefer traditional or full-length paper or computer-based tests. Test takers may have less control during an adaptive test versus a paper-based test, where they may be able to skip around when answering test questions. Test takers may feel that an adaptive test is more challenging because test questions are targeted at their ability level. They'll have fewer questions that feel very easy, for example. And some may feel that adaptive testing is more stressful. They know that their responses are being immediately evaluated, and they may interpret receiving easier or more challenging test questions as feedback on their performance. Ultimately, there are trade-offs associated with each type of mode for test administration. Computer adaptive testing can be a useful mode, but it's worth considering all of these trade-offs when deciding on a mode to use for your testing purpose.